SANTE is the next champion, coming out before the Rarkin and the Enchanter, and apparently quite soon. We already know a few things about him, his potential abilities, his skins and even release date, so let's dig into everything. But before we begin, this video is sponsored by FaceCheck. Make your ranked games a lot easier by having all the information you need all together in this app. Just from champ select you see the win rates of everyone in your team, their mains as well as damage compositions. Then after you pick your champion you can see the best builds, runes and summoner spells that you can import with one click, so you don't need to worry about it. Then after the game begins you have more tips about your champion as well as maxing orders for your abilities, and you can see this card view that gives you some idea of who you are up against and your teammates. Like this game, I'm the best Akali in my house and this Katarina doesn't seem so strong, but DC might be scary, so I might need to play a bit more aggressive and try to win before he gets too fed. But he does get too fed and they almost beat us, then we almost beat them, then they do beat us in the end. You can also track your farm and KDA as well as jungle pathing. Next up I started playing Seraphine a lot recently, so it helps me by showing who my AD carry is and how their bot lane should perform. Their Jhin seems really good but their Lux is pretty bad, and she was since she even went AFK. But we managed to make them surrender quite early with some annoying AoE ults combos, even if they were holding pretty well. After every match you get tips about what you did well and what you didn't do well and how you can improve, and a comparison of you versus your lane opponent. Use my link in the description to download it for free if you want to get to Challenger faster, or don't if you want to stay in Silver, and let me know how much it helped you. So, he's from a new city in Shurima that wasn't mentioned before, the city of Nazuma, a city that is against Azir and it wasn't conquered. Living in an oasis in the outskirts of the desert, where they had to battle giant monsters to claim this area, and 500 years later, the new champion leads the warriors to hunt those same monsters, using the rare resources they gain to build their infrastructure and weapons. He fought one of the largest monsters the desert has ever known and made his weapon called Ntophos out of its rare regenerating hide. Those Ntophos are huge blunt weapons that can be used both offensively and defensively because they can shatter, revealing blades from inside capable of tearing through the foe in seconds, and then it will regenerate back into the big blunt weapon form. Kinda like Jane Foster was breaking Mjolnir and piercing a bunch of demons at the same time and then forming it back. The entire city is impressed by him and he has the title of the Pride of Nazuma. So maybe he'll have a lion as his symbol or a pride flag. Someone said that he could be based on Sundiata, the king of the Mali Empire that was called the Lion King, and that he'll be a strong black guy similar to Doomfist in looks. He will be a high skill top tank, and we didn't get a tank since Ornn 73 years ago, so it will be pretty interesting to see how the weapons work, since he can keep it big as well as break it into smaller pieces. Maybe he'll have two phases like Jace and swap between them, or the breaking and pulling back will be one of his abilities or the ultimate. But it's cool that it is basically made from animals, so perhaps the blades will be made out of teeth. Someone on the SANTE subreddit made some cool designs for his potential weapons. A version would be a shield that breaks into two blades, or one that spins, and a version with a sword and a club as well as a hammer that turns into an axe. I think he'll probably not have mana and use some other resources. Imagine if he's using weapon durability as his resource bar, and he has to break it into smaller pieces and then it regenerates after a while. They said this champion will be a high skill champion and complex like Azir or Yasuo or Aphelios, but for top lane. A champion that people can sink their teeth in and master over hundreds of games, again mentioning teeth, so I bet that weapon is fully made out of those monsters. It will be a champion that appeals players who like deep mastery curves and characters who really test your ability to approach fights in clever ways, rioters mentioned. So he will definitely have some sort of AoE and some unique aspects with his weapon. Be that it shatters and swaps forms or uses some sort of durability mechanic that makes it break over time and then he has to reset it and have it regenerate. It could be cool to have it lose durability and he auto attacks or uses abilities and then he has other abilities to break it out and regenerate it back, and when it breaks it shatters and does AoE around and it's a blade form until it forms back into the blunt form. Let me know what would you expect to see from his kit and his weapon. Then we also know Lil Nas X will co-design the Prestige SANTE skin called Prestige Empyrean SANTE for 2000 event tokens, and Empyrean will probably be related to the Spirit Blossom event, so his base skin will be Empyrean SANTE, probably released with the second part of this Spirit Blossom event, if it's going to be a second set, and it's going to be 2 patches with 2 sets of skins, so we're getting those 10 that we know so far, and then another set for a few more along with Ksante in the next patch. They have the dates for November 3rd for this Prestige Edition skin, so it has to be 2 weeks before on the PB, so we'll probably get him on the PB in October on patch 12.20 or 12.21 most likely. Depends if they release the Prestige skin at the same time as him or later afterwards. So that's about all we know about Ksante so far. Pretty interesting concept, hopefully he will be cool and he should come out soon, so let me know what you think about him so far. Thanks for watching, leave a like or I will send a lion to eat your cheese, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.